Well, Islam Moorish. Um, this is a video that I'm gonna title "The Double Dragon: Tales of Muslim Tales of June Fan." So, Double Dragon: The Muslim Tales of June Fan. So, how I gotta deal with this is that this video is coming from a request. Somebody asked me to do a video showing how Bruce Lee knew about the Moorish Empire. This is gonna be a deep video, so I need y'all gonna have to pay attention. That's why I'm starting with this book right here. Well, one of two books. This book right here, historical researches on the conquest of Peru, Mexico, Bogota, Natchez, and Talamanco in the 13th century by the Mongols. Only like 1 or 2 pages out of this book, so it's not going to be long. And in this book, The Myth of Race by Robert Wald Sussman, a troubling persistence of an unscientific idea. Now, we talked about this already in a previous video, but we didn't talk about this one. This is by John Rankin. So, Moors, I know the ones that study, I know y'all already familiar, but we're going to start in this book. So I got it already marked. So we start here. Now, this is the thing with the European that did this, Carl Linnaeus, right? He was classifying human being as mammalia, order 1, primates. So this is where it starts, Moors, when it comes to when we say European concept is when they call us monkeys and all that. This is right here. This is the actual document that it comes from, 1758, the classification of Homo as written by Linnaeus in Systema Naturae. You know what I mean? So Systema Naturae, so the natural system. So in their natural system or natural order, order 1 is primates. So what do we have? 4 teeth cutting, upper parallel, teeth a peripheral. So Homo, Durno, sapiens Durno. So I guess this is definition. It says varying by education. We know what that means, training of animals, and situation. So situated, you're put somewhere. We have 4-footed, mute, hairy, wild man. Another word for wild man is orangutan. So mute, hairy, 4-footed, mute, hairy. So the ones that 4-footed ones that couldn't talk and that were hairy were known as the wild men, but wild man is also orangutan. So we have number 3, copper colored, choleric, erect, black hair, straight, thick lips. Thick nostril, wide, face harsh, face harsh, beard scanty, and then it's like the S's look like F's in these in the old English, so it's kind of crazy. So obstinate, contempt free, paints himself with fine red lines, fine red lines. So regulated by customs. So this is the American. And then, they deviate the American, and then they say fair, sanguine, brawny. They're talking about the European. Then the sooty, melancholy, rigid, talking about the Asiatic. And then the black, phlegmatic, phlegmatic. Okay, that's weird. Relaxed, African. So this is them differentiating everybody as primates and animals. So we go to the last part of this with my man Blumenbach. Now this guy, Johann Blumenbach, if y'all don't know of him, you have to study some of his work because he's another one in 1775. That's a a remarkable date. He was doing a lot of stuff with Carl Linnaeus and other people like um, I think his name is Carl S. Coons. They were creating this thing called race and the white identity and the black identity and the Asiatic identity and all these identities that were outside of being human being. So we go right down to here. Blumenbach went on to specify first four based on Linnaeus's four cartographically noted varieties. The five later varieties of human associated with major regions in the world. His five varieties, Caucasian, Mongoloid, Ethiopian, American, and Malay, became widely accepted by the educated community, educated again, training of animals, and with some slight variation that they still use today. So right now, in this system of varieties of mankind, Blumenbach developed two major ideas that have endured in history and racism and unfortunately are still with us today. First, he coined the term Caucasian to refer to people of European descent, and in doing so, defined them as the most beautiful, the closest to representing God's image, and the original, human from which other varieties had degenerated. Was this done in by any scientific means? Well, no. He should have said hell no. He developed this on purely aesthetic grounds, and of course, on his own views and aesthetics. So he was just on his own opinion. We all got them though. Blumenbach's Blumenbach's descriptions are pervaded by his personal sense of reality, beauty, presented as though he were discussing an objective, qualifiable, quantifiable property, not subject to doubt or disagreement. So he didn't even want to hear it when you brought him stuff that made sense. So here he goes with his classification. Notice, he's at the top. It's a pyramid scheme. The lower, I guess this would be the lower point of Boaz is the African. The lower point of Oriental, the lower point of Jashin is Oriental. So that goes back. This reminds me of the Bible, guys. Like they're talking about the sons of Noah and all this. This is what this reminds me of. But tomfoolery, because we all know it's one human family. So let's get out of this book dealing with race, and let's deal with how it was before he made this. Before he made this, you see this? Look at this, Morse. Huh? Inca, Huasca Inca, and Atahualpa. These are the brothers of the Inca Empire. You see the fezzes on, right? See the fezzes on. And then you see this right here, the Mongol seal, right? I think, is that a crest? Is that a sun behind? Oh, the Leo. The Leo. So once the Leo, you get Timur Bek or Timur Bey. You get Jahangir or Hangir. Hangir. So these people were coming from across the waters from the Mongolian Empire to meet with the Incas and vice versa. And this is way before it was any European interaction. So I'm gonna read a little bit to tie that into perspective. So what do we have here? We have, with regard to the splendid style of architecture described in the foregoing extracts, the Incas had the rums of the Tihuanaco before them, added to their knowledge of the Asiatic works. So here we go with Asiatic. The similarity with regard to the nice joining of the stones to the Great Wall of China is striking. So the similarity, sorry, but some of the letters is like kind of stuck together. But the similarity with regard to the nice joining of the stones to the Great Wall of China is striking. So Tihuanaco, they're saying that resembles the Great Wall of China. The architecture under the pain of death was obliged to join the stone so well with mortar that no nail could be driven between. Don't that kind of sound like the pyramids of Giza? The houses in Korea, see that, have but one story. They are ill-built. One country of earth, and in the towns commonly of brick. Their cities are generally built and walled in Chinese manner. But the Great Wall, raised by the Koreans as a defense against the Tartars, is much inferior to that of China. Thus, there appear not to be any solid buildings in Peru older than the period of arrival of the Incas, with the exception of the ruins before mentioned by Hubble. And from what other country than China, Tartary, and Tangut could the Incas have brought knowledge with them, which enabled them instantly to construct with stupendous works? So they're showing you the connection between the Tartary, the China, the Tangut, and the Inca. Now watch how this works. When the expedition sailed from Kinsay, the immense canal, 900 miles in length, was in preparation by the Emperor Kublai. As we find that quibos are an ancient Chinese mode of counting, and were used and were known in Peru several ages before the arrival of Incas. And probability is the ruins of Tihuanaco and Vizcay are the remains of some buildings of Tartars, Japanese, or China who have blown across the Pacific in remote times. So they've been blown across the waters way back in the day. So Chinese, Japanese, and Tartary, they came over to Peru way before. So let's start this little enjoyment here. So I'm gonna have to switch it to take my view off, and then go with a screen share. Now here we go with this screen share here. Now Morris, please be ready, because we about to go in. All right. Start with my man, and his real name was June Fine. Start with my man June Fine, and hear what he got to say.
You've lost me. I have. So what I'm saying, actually, you see, I mean, it's a combination of both. I mean, here is the natural instinct, and here is control. You are to combine the two in harmony. Not if you have one to the extreme, you will be very unscientific. If you have another to the extreme, you become all of a sudden a mechanical man, no longer a human being. So it is a successful combination of both. So therefore, it is not only, therefore it's not pure naturalness or unnaturalness. The ideal is unnatural naturalness or natural unnaturalness. Yin yang. Right, man, that's it.
Keep the science,
one of your students, James Coburn, played in a movie called Iron Man and Flint, in which he used karate. Is that what he learned from you?
He learned it after.
Oh,
After
he played in Iron Man.
Right. You see, actually, I do not teach, karate, because I do not believe in styles anymore. I mean, I do not believe that there is such thing as like Chinese way of fighting or the Japanese way of fighting or whatever way of fighting, because unless human beings have 3 arms and 4 legs, we will have a different form of fighting.
Now, Morris, he's talking about he's going to break this down into people's belief systems. Now, Pete, he's going real deep. This is all day science. So, let's keep going.
So styles tends to not only separate men, because they have their own doctrines, and then the doctrine became the gospel truth, that you cannot change, and but if you do not have style, you just say, well, here I am, as a human being, how can I express myself totally and completely? Now that way, you won't create a style, because style is a crystallization, that way, it's a process of continuing growth.
You talk about Chinese boxing. How does it differ from, say?
Now, Morris, understand that he's talking about not being stuck in one way of belief, but using everything you learn as a way of growth. Now, that kind of sounds like Moorish science, not being stuck in one, just Christianity or Judaism, but learning the background to those so you can see how all of them mix together, not just having one set style. See, it keeps going. Now, only one more minute of this because we gotta keep moving.
Art kind of boxing.
Well, first we use the feet,
that's
and then we use the elbow, and
use the thumb.
You name it, man. You
use it all.
You have to, see, because that is the expression of the human body. Everything. Not just the hand. And when you're talking about combat, well, if it is a sport, now you're talking about something else. You have regulations, you have rules. But when you're talking about fighting as it is, with no rules,
real fighting,
well, then, baby, you better train every part of your body. And when you do punch, now I'm leaning forward a little bit, hoping not to hurt any camera angle. You got to put the whole hip into it and snap it and get all your energy in there and make this into a weapon.
I don't want to tangle you in any dark. That right now. You came at me pretty fast there. What is it?
Now, understand what he just put in front of that European was a little bit of a light science. That was a little bit too fast for him. So we're going to skip to the end because he just nailed the coffin. He put the nail in the coffin with this, what he said at the end.
The television is in America. Well, that might be a vague dream, but I think right now, maybe.
You still think of yourself Chinese, or do you ever think of yourself as North American?
You know what I want to think of myself? As a human being. Because, I don't want to sound like, as Confucius say, but I'm under the heaven, man. There is but one family. It just so happened, man, that people are different.
Okay, we got to go. Thank you, Bruce Lee.
Yeah, they had to get out of there real quick because Bruce Lee just dropped the science on them. Didn't Noble Drew Ali say to honor all past, what do you call them, prophets, ones like Confucius? And he just stated Confucius and then dropped the bomb on his head. I don't believe I'm Chinese. I believe I'm a human being. He connected himself to his mother. Now understand, Morris, we're about to go in crazy about what caught my interest to even doing this. Like, there's an interview with Quentin Tarantino about this new movie he made called Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. And then, you heard Bruce Lee reference James Caldwell. It was certain people that he was around, like Steve McQueen and all that he was dealing with. There was they was all Hollywood, because Bruce Lee been in Hollywood since he was a child. This dude was in movies since he was 6, because his dad was a traveling opera star. So Bruce Lee been in the limelight. So this guy, and it's crazy because he makes this statement. I couldn't turn it into something else. It's like, why would he say this?
Imagine a financial
Okay, commercial, uniform commercial code.
However, at the same time, Bruce Lee was kind of an arrogant guy. When I was, the way he was talking, I didn't just make a lot of that up. I heard him say things like that to that effect. And even the thing, people say, well, he never said he could beat up Muhammad Ali. Yeah, he did. All right. Not only did he say that, his wife, Linda Lee, said that. And the first biography I ever read was Linda Lee's Bruce Lee, the Man Only I Knew. And she absolutely said it. And
Now he making a claim that Bruce Lee said he could beat up Muhammad Ali. I'm about to obliterate that when this fool get finished.
so, but the thing about it though is, one, Cliff, could Cliff beat up Bruce Lee? Brad would not be able to beat up Bruce Lee, but Cliff maybe.
Man, I'm out of here. I can't even deal with bull talking. So what he talking about is in the movie that he made called Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. He like shows this scene of Bruce Lee fighting this guy named Brett or whatever. He's supposed to be the character in the movie. I mean, in the movie, who's it? Leonardo DiCaprio. It's supposed to be his stuntman, but he's this like Green Beret dude, and he comes on the set, and Bruce Lee's just talking all this trash and saying how he could how if he was to fight Muhammad Ali, he like cripple him. And then the dude like you want to back up what you're talking or whatever, and they get in a fight and he beat Bruce Lee up. So I'm like, what are we showing here? What we got the history of that. Like Bruce Lee seen what's his name, Chuck Norris, when it came to this the scenes from the movie. Bruce, and it's the dude who plays him named Michael Moe. How about that? Michael Moe. And you playing this weird tartary ass position. Look, he beats him up in a movie. You know what I mean? So it's just crazy. Because it doesn't represent anything that Bruce Lee really stood for. Like when you really seen the real Bruce Lee back in the day, he did that. What's that movie? Return of the Dragon, where he fought Chuck Norris, and he actually used Muhammad Ali's technique to fight him. So let's get this guy out of here real fast, Mr. Quentin Tarantino. And it's crazy because Quentin Tarantino did a movie that I think is very interesting that I'm about to bring up to these Moors. Hold up, Moors. Hold up. Here you go. All right, I'll take a look at this and tell me something. Oh, here, go right here. Now, this is from, I think it was a Twitter. This is a Twitter account of somebody who knew Bruce Lee or read the book from his wife. Hold up, let me get it back. Come on. Yeah. So Quentin Tarantino's words exactly. His wife, Linda Lee, said that Bruce could beat up Muhammad Ali in her first biography. Bruce Lee, the man I only knew. So that was her book name, Bruce Lee, the man I only knew. So this is what the person says. Wrong. Linda was quoting the TV critic. Even the most scathing critics admitted that Bruce's Kung Fu was sensational. One critic wrote, "Those who watched him would bet on Lee to render Cassius Clay senseless if they were to put him in a room and if anything, and told that anything goes." Of course, like he gets to kick him. But there's an interview that I ain't gonna go to that one because it's gonna waste time. But there's an interview where Muhammad Ali is asked how he feel about Bruce Lee. How he feel about if he was to have to fight. Oh, do we think he could fight somebody who practices does karate? And he said, there's a good karate guy out there. He's real good. And everybody be talking about, what happened if we fought? And what would I say? I say that I murdered him. That's what he said. So, rest in peace to both of the guys. But from there, get that one out of there. We're going to go in on Bruce Lee's ancestry. So start with his birth, go back to this internet of things. Yeah. You already know Pachamama has to be involved in this because it gets crazy. So you already got it pulled up, yeah. So we go, Bruce. They're trying to hate on the feed. Oh, here we go. All right. His real name was Lee Jun Fan, right? So he's the founder of Jeet Kune Do. That's his own style. When he was talking about his body and how to control it and contain the power, he mixed his boxing with You know, I mean, he mixed his fighting abilities with boxing, like the foot movements of Muhammad Ali. So right here, they say he's the one who bridged the gap between the East and the West. What's the East? Right? Right? Ain't that? Don't that seem like the left side of the Moorish Empire or the Ottoman Empire, right? And then what's the West? Ah, so the West even goes all the way up. I'm telling y'all, they include in Americas, they include Australia and what do you call that? Western Europe. That's America. You can't run from this. This is all. So that's Moorish Empire right there. That's Al-Andalus right there. It's part of the West. So he was bridging that to this. Now, how do you do that if you're not crossing that way? You got to cross the other way. Now, this is a divine science here because it goes deeper than him just being a fighter. We got to look at what this dude was birthed on. Was his birth good? What was his birth divine? What was it? 27. Okay, let's see. Chinese. Okay, according to the Chinese zodiac. Okay, we're looking at zodiac. It say Lee was born on an hour in the day of the dragon. This is the double dragon right here. That's what I'm saying. This, his mom Grace Ho. They trying to say she was Eurasian, but we got to deal with that. We got to deal with if his mom was, yeah. Before we go farther, let's deal with his mother's ancestry, because they always try to get us. They always try to get us, and we're gonna deal with her too, mother. All right, so I think I gotta find his uncle, because was it Robert Lee? Once we pull his uncle in, then it'll be, we can go into the whole bloodline, because it's real key of like who this dude really was. Hold up, let me see. I got some phone pictures, and it'll give me his name. Okay, Robert Hotung. Robert Hotung is the wrong. No. We need Robert Hotung. That's the other name here. So you see the name changes going on. Hotung. Now, who is Robert Hotung? Let's deal with this guy. See, Robert Hotung, the grand old man of Hong Kong, huh? He was knighted 1915. He's a knight? This Bruce Lee great. Okay, let me show you how. Let me show you how this works. It says he was Eurasian. His father was, European, Dutch Jewish ancestry, but his mother, Sue Tai or Say Tai, Sue Tai or whatever, Say Tai or whatever, a Chinese woman of Boan, present day Hong Kong, Shenzhen. So yeah, he's really Hong Kong Chinese. Like you can't. That's his nationality. So you can't play that his mother. We follow the bloodline here. So we go down and we see, look at this young boy looking. He looked like a little mixture. You know what I'm saying? See the family line over here. So hold up. Get my game John back on. All right. So over here, you see oh dang, am I even on the so-called thing? Hold on, let me make sure. Let me make sure we're still on it. Okay. Where had to go back. All right, so his uncle. We go down. His marriage, the legacy. This is the woman that one of his second wives. Her cousin was the mother of Bruce Lee's mother. So Bruce Lee's grandmother was her cousin, and we see they got this Chen name, progeny. The son. Oh, here it go right here. Ho Kam Tong, the younger maternal half brother of Robert's, was the son of a Chinese father, or whatever. So we keep going. One of his children, Grace Ho Oyu, was the daughter of Chiang King Sin, right? A Eurasian woman who Ho Kam Tong, mistress in Shanghai. So a mistress, a Shanghai woman, Shang King Sin. Grace adopted by him and later became the mother of martial artist actor Bruce Lee. So Grace Ho, her mother is this lady, because they try to say Grace Ho was like Russian, but her mother was actually from Shanghai. Say it right here. Now her mother was the cousin of his second wife, Clara. So understand that there's one night. Now I'm gonna show y'all the second. There's another night in here. Hold on. There's another night in this progeny, and that's the thing that got me. I'm like, wait a minute. Hold on. How did he get in there? He got in through marriage. Oh, here you go, right here. Boom. Look at this guy. Who's this? Who's this? So we look at this guy. We got Sir Mam Khan, right? Now let's see about this guy. Let's see what his stuff was about. Public life. He received King George V Silver Jubilee Medal in 1935 when they was recognizing Muhammad on the Supreme Court. King George VI Coronation Medal, and he was named Commander of the Order of the British Empire. This dude was a knight too, in Bruce Lee's family. Now, ain't that something to see? Right? So, as you know now, if you didn't get it before, Bruce Lee's status when it comes to the European world was high. Like he was somebody, you know, because it ain't no way you're gonna be acting and doing all these movies and all that type of stuff without being known. Okay? Hold on. So is it right here? Is this the one? Get to it. So you can see how young this boy was when he was doing his thing. Young Bruce out here acting. So it's crazy. Because it's, it reminds me of, like, I ain't get into it yet when it comes to that book I just got, but it reminds me of how they be talking about the prophet. And here they go with this again, the non-respondents. Oh yeah, there you go. There you go, young Bruce, all day. Young Bruce, the kid, son of a chain. See how they put in the movies, they hide the truth about the ancestry? No, another thing about the ancestry. Let's do this. So y'all see it ain't a game. So y'all see it ain't a game. The four big families of Hong Kong. Now I bet y'all don't know which one he connected to, because it ain't the one you think. Four big families of Hong Kong. We got the Lee, the Ho, the Hui, and the Lo. Which one you think he is? I already told y'all because I said his mom name, but see here go to Robert Ho Tong. That's his, the whole joint. And Ling Xing Shu, right? This is who they say on paper, but Bull was running around. He had all types of, Now this is the family line from Lee. You see all these bankers, East Banker, East Asian artists. You know who they is, right? And you look at this whole family, Robert Ho Tong. So Bruce Lee through Grace Ho right here. Yeah. So this dude connected to who? Business philanthropists and two knights. Hong Kong businessman, philanthropist. Shanghai Bank. So y'all was going into the mothers building banks up in there, huh? So understand that Bruce Lee he wasn't to be. You were supposed to keep doing what they was doing. but he changed it. You see how right here, him and his son, the ones that both got taken care of, so-called, their name changes. They're Lees, but everybody else is Ho, right? The whole family. Why they make them Lees? They disconnected them from the family before they disconnected both of them. Martial artists. So y'all not part of the family blood, the family business. Y'all doing some other stuff. So they got him out of here. Why? Because through this teaching of the Crow, understand that was really about Palomayombe character, Del Cristo Negro. He was actually playing too much with the Moor over here. That's what happened to this man. He got too involved with the Moor over here, and Hollywood, like that movie, what do you call it? The Story of Hollywood or whatever. They understood that double dragon energy bloodline, so they had to suppress it. We're gonna get to that, but let's deal with this first. Pachamama. Now, what's about this double dragon energy? Huh? Among the Inca in South America, the earth was seen as a dragon goddess who lived beneath the mountains. Occasionally, she quivered, sending earthquakes through the world. Now, Moors, when I was talking about the whole thing of Mother Aket and Hyas, aka Akhenaten, this is who caused the earthquakes when Mother Akhenaten came to Canaan. This energy, Mother Earth, but it's really, this energy was held by Mama Huaco. Of the every 500 years was a Mama Huaco, and they each of them held this energy. Pachacamac. I mean, these are the different energies the mothers will hold. So we go from there. Oh, did you see it? Learn about Chinese dragon goddess. Who's that? Let's see. Huh? Nukua. What? The nunchucks? Nakua? Now let's see how this really is. My man Bruce Lee's energy. Watch how this works. She was concerned herself with the chaos of human relations. That's in fights. Huh? She cut the toes off the giant tortoise and used them to mark the compass points. She burned the reeds into ashes and used them as dams to flood the rivers. Be like water, huh? So this is deep right here. You see this she represents the 5 elements and the 12 different animals. So it's representing that the earth mixed with the cosmos. That's the 720 connection. The water dragon, Moors. So in the year the water dragon, what is it? See right here, on a Mayan 5th. So they even count with the Mayan calendar. So from the Mayan calendar, so when they mix the Mayan with the Chinese, according to Chinese and Tibetan calendars, January 23rd, 2012, begin the year the water dragon. Man, dog. Nakua, the ancient dragon goddess, was experienced into restoring the order of the balance of life. Understand? That's what my man represented. And watch how I blow y'all head off right here. So y'all see the mother head on the serpent. This is, what do you call it? Mother time, which is what they call in Kemet, Apophis. But it's a mother dragon. It's the dragon mother. You see the 2 right here from ancient Greece. And then you see the 2. This is the Kundalini, more the double dragon. This is what he was based off of, his energy. Now watch this. Boom. Don't y'all remember this? Ooh, Cuckoo Khan. Huh? Cherokee who traces her lineage to the past lifetime, the exalted Tibetan holy person. Huh? A Moor? Huh? Kukaduk. Ukadina. The great dragons who were used to protect his land? Turtle Island? What Turtle Island? I don't know about no island. I know about Morocco. But the dragons always protected this thing. See? So let's bring this thing full swing. Pachamama, right? Pachamama, used as the figure of Virgin Mary after they came here with Spanish colonization of the Americas. Look at the whole Americas, right? That's the Morocco, right? And they say Spanish colonization. Mama Killer, dealing with that moon. Inti, dealing with that sun. Pachamama is the mother of both of those. Understand that. Understand the science. So we got the Roman Catholicism. So they changed that in the Virgin Mary. Mother Nature, Mother Earth and all that. Now look at how it goes, right? With the etymology. Pachamama, translated Mother Earth. World Mother. Amira. Aymara, right? And Kuchia, or Quechua, referred to in multiple ways. Now watch this, Morris. La Pachamama, huh? La Pachamama. The La refers to the only goddess. Now, what that sound like, Morris? They talking about Allah, right? Al-Ilah, right? The God. Well, this joint say La Pachamama, the only goddess. So we keep going. We're going to keep going. Hit y'all in the head with these deities. Tam Kung, huh? Tam Kung. So the Tam Kung is what? Sea deity. The sea deity. Huh? So we're dealing with the waters. Chinese calendar on the 4th. Okay, occasions. The parade of the dragon in Kowloon City. Y'all know that? You guess who was from Kowloon City? Guess who was from Kowloon City? From right, Masjid Islamic Center in Kowloon City. We're gonna do it, but guess who was from there? Your boy Bruce. Your boy June Fan. He was from Kowloon City. Look at the youngin. The youngin do his thing. But let me see if I can find that video of him talking about how he was from. No. They go to where he's from or whatever, and they it's dealing with, what do you call it? It's dealing with Bruce Lee.
How long have you been doing this?
Just over a year.
What were you doing before?
I worked in a hospital.
Sweet Kowloon. This John, is it? Yeah, here it go. So it's talking about how this where Bruce Lee lived. You know what I mean? Y'all hold up. This is hold up. Is this the John? Oh, here we go. Boom. Kowloon Park, Nathan Road, British thing, redeveloped in 1970, right in the middle, where Bruce would hang out. Bruce would hang out at the Masjid, Kowloon Park. That's where he would hang out? Wow. Well, how do you do that? How do you do that? Now, look at this, Morris. Look at this. Uh-oh. How do you do that? The Alhambra building where he's training? How do you do that? How do you do the Alhambra building where he's training? You go to this. Oh, see how they burnt. What did I say? Did I get it out of there? Well, it was the it's the, you deal with the video where was it? I had it up here. Damn, I can't remember where I put it. But anyway, you deal with the video where they talk about Bruce Lee training with his master in the what's that joint? Enter the Dragon. He was walking up a hill with his dragon with his teacher, and his teacher had a fez on. So I go to show you, like, oh, here, go right here. Yeah, teacher had the fez on, walking around. So this is what young Bruce was doing. Had the master teaching lessons, right, with the fez on. Teacher, you know what I'm saying? Look at this right here. What? Kowloon Peninsula, built for the Muslims. Oh, Grand Moorish type building, Grand Moorish type mosque. Oh, that's interesting. Moorish type mosque. Here you go, right here. The scene. This is a Muslim cemetery where he's praying to his mother before he fights. So his mother was buried in a Muslim cemetery, and it's called Moore Garden. Jesse Glover, you know who he is? He's Bruce Lee's first student. Hold up. Look at this. Circle 7, right? 7 people, right? That's Jesse. Guess who this is? This is Leroy Garcia. Bruce Leroy is really Jesse Glover. Who? The Last Dragon. So understand the science to all of that. He got his united uncle, noble family. Where he was from was Moorish building right near where his circle 7 right here for the symbolic. We got this. Now what is this? What you ever hear of this? Denmark? What's Denmark? Huh? Wing Chun's deadly system of striking pressure points? What is that about? See how he's hitting them in the head, right? Touch of death. Touch of death. Now watch how they tell you. Numerous 1985 black belt speculates Bruce Lee's death 1973 might have been caused by delayed reaction Denmark. Huh? Prior to his collapse. Let's keep going. Let's look at this. Look, what's this? 5-point palm exploding heart technique. Shaw brothers used this in the Clan of the White Lotus. And then look at this. It also appears in Kill Bill 2. Delayed reaction, right? What's going on here? And in the movie with George Clooney and them, The Men Who Stare at Goats, where they teacher was all under this, comedic science of the whatever. And then this video, they actually show how it works. It's the real ish. I mean, so understand that they used this on Bruce Lee in his last movie during his training to get him out of here. One of them to the head. Had his brain swelling. That energy, what they do is put the energy inside your body and it grows. And your body can't contain it. He about to check, but they gotta hit him, they gotta release that Denmark to bring him back so he can breathe. Anyway, don't y'all remember that? Huh? Remember that? So Kill Bill, don't you remember this? What did he say? A roaring rampage of revenge for teaching? What's going on here? Don't you know that they was mad at Bruce Lee for teaching all Europeans? Who was mad? You see his family, right? He used to go and rumble with people at what's that gang? What is that gang? Triads. His dad sent them to America because they chased them out. Ending scene. Huh? They actually in the movie they call this the 5-point palm exploding heart technique. How are they gonna show you this? And then guess who he is? David Carradine. David Carradine was the dude who played in this show called Kung Fu. And they even go into it online. David Carradine's character, Kung Fu, like that show was really written by Bruce Lee. He was supposed to play it, but they gave him the runaround like, oh, your accent too thick. So they let him play it, then let her kill him off by the same technique that killed Bruce Lee. Now, Hollywood play that game, don't they? Don't Hollywood love to play the game? Now let's get to the wrapping this up. So this is what Bruce was trying to show us. This is what Bruce was trying to show us. Y'all see that? Y'all see that? This is his team jacket. This is the logo he had hanging in his team, in his what do you call it? His dojo. Now, Morris, what is this? What is this? Huh? Hong Kong in America? What? What is it? Don't that look familiar? It's just the other side. Hong Kong to Seattle. It's the other side, Morris. It's the other side to the paradigm. It's the other side to the empire. Connected. Here you go. Right there. And so yeah, that pretty much takes care of what I was trying to show. You know what I mean? Because I ain't never seen nobody show Bruce Lee near no Alhambra building. But that one, and we'll end with this. My watch later videos or like videos. Where did I get? Or my save videos? Favorite? Watch later. Gotta be watch later. Hold on, let me go to the bottom. Oh yeah, let's get it. Watch this, Morris. This gonna blow your minds.
Tourists or people they think are tourists like myself, but I was approached by two fairly ugly people that just speak such good English, randomly approaching you on the street. It normally doesn't happen.
Is Beijing
And
Moorish?
especially these
10 and
women,
square.
they're middle-aged, and that sort of
Moors. What's that? What is that? What is that?
age group, they don't speak English at all in
Moors.
China. So they're younger.
What
people.
is it doing there? That's the flag. Moors. They got the dang flag all down 10 and square. You see this? Huh? That's whole Inca. Ain't that Inca right there? The totem, right? What is the flag doing there? It's like, what is that doing there?
Usually do. Usually it's younger women that will approach.
It's random. It's a random video. You'll never find it. What is it doing?
China. So the younger people usually do.
It's loud, boys.
Actually, it's younger women that will
The
approach
paradigm will never
tourists
be
or people
stopped.
that think
Like,
tourists
it's
like myself.
there.
But I was approached by two
European and founded in
really
10
middle-aged
square,
women here.
boys. It's there.
But
It's a wrap. Yo, it's loud, boys. That's crazy. Stop this joke.